It's daybreak here on Horizon, and it's time for the press preview. And we'll begin as usual by looking at our own sister publication, This Day newspaper. And This Day has on its front page, at last, Atiku, Wike meet, move to resolve their differences. You have about 3 writers there. Former VP throws down the gauntlet, says Nigeria can't make progress without restructuring. PDP presidential candidate appoints Dino Melai, Daniel Bwala spokespersons. Are you, as the chairman of PDP, or should election signpost victory for PDP in 2023? Of course, the news came in yesterday that ex-inspector general of police Tafa Balogu is dead. He died at age 74. And then in that picture, you see the EFCC boss joint effort to curb forex speculation. Then Adamu APC's all Muslim ticket, positive development. Some riders, their party names Lalong Keyamu, campaign DG spokesperson. I was chosen not as a Christian, says the Plateau State Governor Lalong. Shatima asked opposition candidates to name people they mentored, like Tinubu. And of course, just above the mask, the insecurity will remove Senate President if he blocks Buhari's impeachment, says Fadaunsi. You can find that on page 8.
The Punch newspaper, Wike's camp condemns PDP's anti-South posture, seeks redress. And we won't allow Lawan block Buhari's impeachment. That's according to a senator.
All right, let's look at the Nation newspaper. 2023, PDP can win without Wike. Atiku tells party BOT. Atiku tells parties BOT. Buhari lost Rivers, yet won in 2015 and 2019. Runners-up raises poses at meeting with candidate. Petrol importation, we can't compete with NMPC, says Ipman there. And Lalong leads APC's presidential campaign cancel. And then on the top master, UK court adjourns hearing in a Kweremadu case till October 31.
And moving on to the next paper, we've got The Guardian.
Yeah.
It's leading with Atiku breaks the ice, meets Wike in Abuja.
All right, now let's move to international newspapers. The Mirror, Daily Mirror. If we have the Daily Mirror, yes, economy in free fall. Well, the headline there says missing in action. What it means for you. You can read that up with the pictures of Johnson and Zahawi there. Economy in free fall as Britain heads for year-long recession. Interest rates soar to 1.75%, and inflation is set to hit 13% in October. Just where are our leaders?
Interesting question. Well, the Financial Times is also leading with a warning. Bank of England warns of long recession as interest rates rise by half point.
All right, Financial Times. BOE warns of long recession as interest rates rise by half. Okay, that was the Financial Times. Okay, let's then go to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, glad to have you join us this morning. Hello, Emmanuel. Good morning. All right. Well, I hope you can hear me. This day newspaper. This day newspaper. It says at last, Atiku Wike meet, move to resolve their differences. Then, of course, you have there Adamu APC's all Muslim ticket, positive development that is coming from the chairman of the APC.
Well, Indy, good morning once again. Just yesterday we were looking at a paper that says that that's the Nation newspaper yesterday. It said there's a deadlock or there was no truce reached in that whole Wike Atiku drama. But we are reporting today that there was that meeting, and the way this day coins is they say at last, yes. That's almost like a sigh of some kind of self-relief there that after all the back and forth, after what looks like if it was not going to a serious fisticuff with Wike, rattling his sword. But they are meeting, and from what we're hearing, it's a positive meeting. I think on both sides is at least a little bit of kind of a kind of a relief. But if you look at the way the other papers, maybe we're coming to them, the way the Nation is still coining it, and other people, I think, you will know that, okay, well, there are still, rivers to cross, so to speak. But some other papers are actually celebrating, what, if you call it celebrating, the meeting, because I think it's a turning point at this point for the PDP. And from here onwards, the whole push to actually have a common front will take the center stage, because both parties are ramping up their base, getting their acts together, working on their organogram, working on their structures, to face the big push for the presidential election. So we're seeing PDP trying to round off the very, very last issues it has, which is those issues coming from the primaries, especially the choice of Okowa and not Wike. Wike and Atiku seem to be blinking together almost at the same time, meeting midway. Wike flying yesterday from Port Harcourt to meet to Jerry Gana's residence for them to meet. I think it's a huge development considering the dust, those altercations, those back and forth raised in the past.
Well, Emmanuel, in the APC, there's been a new appointment, the Director General of the Tinubu Campaign Organization. What are you looking forward to from Governor Lalong? Well,
Lalong is already facing a backlash immediately as soon as he got the job. They were not even allowed, our people say they didn't even allow him to drop the cup before they hit him hard. Yesterday, a press conference saying that he should reject the position. Lalong himself pushing back and said, look, he's not taking this as a Christian counterbalance to the crisis of the all-Muslim ticket. That's not why he was picked. He was picked because of his efficiency, because of his record, because of what he's done. He said he's been in APC. APC is his life. He has done a lot for the party, and he has gone for many of those campaigns around the country with the president. So he's saying that, look, while some people think that his choice is just to balance all that APC is still reacting, because APC is bogged down greatly by this all-Muslim ticket thing. Adam Abdullahi the other day went to church, and said, praise the Lord. It was all an attempt to maybe soften cushion the crisis of, in the Christian sector. And now this DG appointment, Samuel Lalong, with a very strong Christian name like that, all an attempt. But Lalong said that, no, that's not an attempt to make less severe the crisis of the all-Muslim ticket, that he believed that his pick was based on, on the fact that he's competent. Again, the issue of competence. Even Shettima pick was said to be on competence and not on religion. He say his choice is not on is based on what he can do for the party. So it is just APC's attempt at not just organizing its structure so that they can actually convince the rest of the country. And they chose Festus Keyamo because they will be needing someone, like we said yesterday, someone that can go into the marketplace of the Nigerian public to tell them why they need to be re-elected. Because again and again, Nigerians were going to badger them with records, with the crisis of the country. They're going to be, that will be the game plan of so many people that want to attack the APC. So they need someone, maybe at the level of Festus Keyamo, who actually did the same thing, led the charge the last time. And then there's our colleague Hanatu Musa of the BBC, who is also a hard hitter when it comes to those in the public domain, in public speaking. So whether those two marketers are going to be alongside Lalong are going to actually convince the base, ramp up whatever they're able to do that to buy into the into the brand, it's another thing that we need to watch.
All right, let's look at Punch. It says Wike's camp condemns PDP's anti-South posture, seeks redress. Let me read out the bylines there. PDP cannot have BOT party chairman, cannot have BOT party chairman, others from North. This is from Wike's loyalist. As is a Democratic Party, we adhere to our constitution, says PDP spokesperson. Lamido backs Atiku, Wike's reconciliation. The Wike's men demand equity and what they call justice. Emmanuel.
Well, I don't know whether this, this kind of headline was before or after yesterday was the meeting. But I think maybe both sides are beginning to look at these demands and are trying to transcend these issues. The meeting yesterday seemed to have foreclosed a headline like this about those condemnation, because those are actually the issues that the Wike camp has been raising. So. And they are very serious charges. On IU, for instance, the party yesterday, PDP, came out so strongly to stand with IU and said, look, he can only come down after the elections, because that was, according to them, the agreement that when the president, and not just the candidate, is from the north, the national chairman of the party will be from the south. So, but yesterday they had that meeting and they were not saying much. I'm not sure whether I'm sure some of these issues came up. So we're yet to see. Wike has gone back to Rivers, and we'll wait to see what will come out of the meeting of yesterday. Yes, but these are the issues that both camps, especially the camps of Wike, are raising them so seriously. The coloration of the PDP looking very much, very, very pro-North and anti-South. It's one charge that Wike is holding on strongly. We don't know if yesterday's meeting has dealt with it, but we'll wait to see the official, fallout of those meetings.
Emmanuel, a high court in the South Akwa Ibom State has sentenced Uduak Akpan to death by hanging for the murder of Iniobong Umoran, a graduate of philosophy from the University of Uyo. It's a welcome development, isn't it?
Yes, crime and punishments is always a welcome development, because the only way you can stop criminality and crime is to actually, face it with justice, and it has to be seen as done. It has to be swift. It has to be very effective. But when you let people get away with murder, you only just encourage them. You encourage other cases. So for Punch to have actually, put it, display it, and give it that prominence, that's a good one. So that on one hand we have crime, on the other hand we have punishment. We must continuously encourage that people should pay the supreme price for any for whatever they've done. Part of the problem of our jurisprudence, or part of the problem of criminality in this part of the world, is that you don't see this kind of justice, poetic justice, being carried out. With this, of course, apart from the fact that it has a deterrent effect in its nature of those reading this story and looking at the outcome of it, it also helps to bring closure to family members who are hurting over a situation. So we need to be seeing more of this kind of example. We need to be seeing justice being served, and criminals should know that, look, whatever you do, there is actually a recompense, and that you will pay for it.
All right, let's look at the nation. 3 stories there. UK court adjourns hearing in Ekweremadu's case till October 31, and just to the right of that story, Oshu APC heads for tribunal over the governorship poll, and then down where you see the information minister, it says federal government Google partner to block subversive YouTube channels.
Well, the last piece of story there is still, the whole crisis about trying to muzzle press freedom, and it's been in the news lately. All sort of crisis with fining television station network, and also, so the Ministry of Information, headed by Lai Mohammed, is going those parts again. Don't forget our crisis with tweeters in the past, and now again with the issue of blocking things appearing on YouTube. These are just, they keep coming, and there are people who are on both sides of the aisle. Those who say that, yes, there's need for control, there's need for better supervision, there's need for some kind of censorship, self-censorship. Kaduri Ahmed was on the network recently talking about that, the industry needs to self-regulate, needs to be able to know what is churning out there, as opposed to those who say, look, we're on the information, expressway or freeway, we should be able to say whatever we say. So it is the balance between control and freedom that we are seeing playing out here. And now, of course, the story on APC2 is an interesting one. Yeah, but it's feeding into the culture of the fact that we don't accept defeat. Every election is seen as being rigged, especially if you don't win. And so you go to court, you go to tribunals, and then you delay the process. And it's always that back and forth that we still don't have a culture of saying, okay, look, I've lost out. Let me congratulate the winner and let's move on. That hasn't happened yet in our politics. What you see is that for every election, you have people going to almost, some people will say almost unnecessary. But then, of course, those who are seeking justice will not look at it like that. They will think that, look, they be shortchanged and they need to go to some form of tribunal, to go to court, and then it becomes a lawyer's game, and then the beat goes on. So that's what we've not learned so far. How to just congratulate the winner and just move on, and see how we can even actually work with the winner to build the state. Our people don't look at it like that. They go to court all the time. They go to tribunals to seek redress. Emmanuel,
Britain heads for a year-long recession. The Bank of England just hiked rates to 1.75%, and inflation is set to hit 13% in October. In the meantime, Boris Johnson is off on his long-delayed honeymoon. The Minister of the Exchequer is on holiday with his family. It looks like Boris cannot wait to be ex-PM.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the day he resigned, you know, he's actually winding down to his final, you know, to leaving the number 10. But this is biting. The inflation is biting, and yes, I like the headline. Very interesting headline. It says "Missing in Action." Where are the leaders? Almost like what you will find in some kind of failed nations where the leaders don't care. This smacks of insensitivity, smacks of irresponsibility on the part of leaders that Britons are crying real hard. Hardship has deepened. Liz and Sunak, Truss and Sunak actually, debating on how to uplift the standard of life, how to cut taxes, how to lessen those hardships. And yet the people that matter at the moment are not even in town. One has gone on a delayed honeymoon. I mean, again, it is almost a Johnsonian kind of a thing that in the midst of crisis is going to party somewhere. Those are the things that actually dealt him in. I think the headlines are very right in saying that, look, at moments of perils like this, of serious hardship and people faced with existential threats in Britain, the leaders should be on ground and dealing with it and discussing it and talking about it, just like the candidates too are discussing those matters back and forth in debates.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello, for With the Press Group.